Jeremy Renner, known globally for his role as Clint Barton, aka Hawkeye, in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, has just taken a career turn no one saw coming. The actor, deeply associated with the Marvel brand for over a decade, has officially signed on with DC Studios. This decision has sent shockwaves through both Hollywood and the broader fan communities, leaving industry observers and longtime Marvel enthusiasts stunned. After years of being at the center of Marvel's most emotionally grounded narratives, Renner's sudden pivot to the competing superhero universe represents not just a career shift, it's a seismic cultural moment in the evolving war between Marvel and DC. Before we start, smash the like and subscribe buttons for more updates. Renner's association with Disney and Marvel has been long and storied. From his debut in Thor to his poignant role in Avengers Endgame, Renner grew into a fan favorite without the need for flashy powers or armor. He represented the human side of the Avengers, often grounding the team in moments of emotional clarity and realism. His storyline was often centered around loyalty, family, and sacrifice, culminating in a character arc that many thought had reached its conclusion, or at least was heading toward retirement. Yet despite Disney's expansion of the Hawkeye storyline with a Disney Plus series, there had been murmurs over the last year that Renner was seeking something different. Still, no one could have predicted he would switch camps entirely. The announcement came without warning. There was no slow leak to the press, no subtle hints in Renner's interviews or social media. Instead, DC made the news public through a surprise press statement followed by a digital reveal across all platforms. Fans immediately began speculating about what role Renner might be taking on. Was he replacing someone? Taking on a brand new character? Or was this a multiverse-inspired twist designed to capitalize on the shifting narrative rules that now dominate superhero storytelling? The lack of immediate clarification only added fuel to the fire. Speculation spread like wildfire, but the fact remained. Jeremy Renner was no longer exclusive to Disney's Marvel. He was now a DC man. What makes this move even more jarring is the timing. Marvel has been attempting to regroup after the departure of several legacy actors. While Disney continues to build the MCU's next era with younger and more diverse characters, there has been ongoing discourse around how the franchise has struggled to reclaim the momentum it once had. In contrast, DC Studios, under the renewed leadership of James Gunn and Peter Safran, has been in the midst of a major rebranding and restructuring. The DCU has recently made bold casting decisions and major creative overhauls, signaling an ambitious and aggressive plan to regain footing in the superhero film space. In this context, Renner's jump feels like more than just a casting decision. It feels like a cultural shift, a statement of intent from DC. Renner joining DC isn't merely about the actor, it's about what he represents. He is emblematic of Marvel's Phase 1 roots, actors who brought gravitas to their roles, transforming comic book characters into complex human beings. Unlike many other MCU stars, Renner was often praised for his subtle, grounded performances. He didn't rely on one-liners or explosive visuals. His appeal came from the quiet strength he exuded. Bringing that to DC means a great deal. It's a strong signal from DC Studios that they are looking to inject their universe with more emotional authenticity, perhaps even restructure their storytelling to prioritize character over spectacle. Renner's decision also raises larger questions about talent migration in Hollywood's superhero era. What once seemed like fixed camps are now becoming permeable. Disney's executives were reportedly blindsided by the announcement. While contractual details remain under wraps, insiders have confirmed that Renner was not under a non-compete agreement that would prohibit him from working with rival studios. Still, the optics of such a move are damaging to Disney. After years of nurturing the actor's profile and investing in the Hawkeye franchise, most recently through a limited series that introduced Kate Bishop as his successor, the expectation was that Renner would remain within the Marvel fold, even if in a supporting or legacy role. That assumption has now been shattered, and with it, the perception that Marvel actors are locked into lifetime brand loyalty. This moment also represents a power shift in the superhero genre. For years, Marvel has dominated the conversation, setting the pace for interconnected storytelling, cinematic universe building, and box office supremacy. But Renner's jump indicates that DC has finally found a narrative and a vision that is alluring to even Marvel's veterans. It's a sign that the tide may be turning. Renner's choice seems to communicate that DC's new direction isn't just artistically compelling, it's powerful enough to disrupt long-held industry norms. One of the most interesting aspects of this development is the potential creative freedom Renner may now enjoy. While Marvel's storytelling is meticulously coordinated across films and series, often constraining actors to specific arcs and crossover appearances, DC's newer model appears more flexible. Gunn and Safran have spoken openly about creating a space where creators and performers can inject more of themselves into the work. That environment may have been particularly appealing to Renner, who has consistently pursued a range of projects outside of superhero fare, from critically acclaimed dramas like The Hurt Locker to his musical pursuits and recent ventures into reality TV. His artistic identity has never been bound entirely to the Marvel machine. Perhaps now at DC, he sees the opportunity to shape a character from the ground up, without the weight of past continuity or fan expectations. There's also the question of how this changes the fan dynamic. Superhero fandoms are passionate and loyal, often drawing sharp lines between DC and Marvel. Renner's move blurs that line in a very public way. For longtime fans of Hawkeye, this is bittersweet. While they may be excited to see Renner in a new role, it's difficult to reconcile the image of him wearing another costume in a different cinematic universe. On the other hand, DC fans have found new cause for celebration. Bringing in a seasoned actor who helped define a rival franchise's identity is a major win, both strategically and symbolically. Industry insiders are already speculating about what kind of role would draw Renner across the aisle. Given his age, gravitas, and previous performances, it's likely that DC is placing him in a central or even mentor-like position. Some have floated the idea of him playing Green Arrow, a character whose story shares several parallels with Hawkeye. Others suggest a deeper, darker role in the DC canon, perhaps as a morally ambiguous anti-hero or a key political figure in the universe. Regardless of the character, the emphasis seems to be on giving Renner something he hasn't had before: a clean slate, a new identity unshaped by previous installments or legacy arcs. It's also worth considering the potential impact this move may have on other actors who've long been associated with Marvel. While most have remained loyal, the studio's recent creative struggles and shifting leadership may create conditions where more actors begin to explore new partnerships. If Renner's transition proves successful, both critically and commercially, it could embolden others to consider similar leaps. This could lead to a new era where actor allegiances to studio universes are fluid, where the creative appeal of a project outweighs any existing brand loyalty. The move is not just a win for DC Studios, but for James Gunn personally. Known for his ability to merge irreverent humor with emotional storytelling, Gunn's recent efforts have been focused on resetting the DCU into something cohesive, yet imaginative. Bringing Renner on board is a masterstroke. It signals that his vision has matured to a point where it can attract top-tier talent, even from the enemy. Gunn has been in a similar situation himself, having worked with both Marvel and DC. He may understand more than anyone the power of artistic freedom and the appeal of a fresh creative start. In many ways, Renner is following a path Gunn helped pave. Fans and journalists alike are now awaiting the next domino to fall. Renner's arrival at DC has sparked a flurry of rumors about upcoming projects and reshuffled timelines. Will his character debut in a solo film? Or will he be introduced through a major crossover event? Will his presence be used to draw connective tissue between DC's upcoming franchises? All these questions are swirling, and DC is playing its cards close to the chest. This calculated mystery only increases anticipation, ensuring that Renner's involvement becomes one of the most discussed entertainment stories of the year. Hollywood itself is watching closely. In an era defined by IP consolidation and streaming wars, the power dynamics between legacy studios are constantly in flux. Renner's decision sends a signal that brand power isn't static. It can shift, evolve, and even crumble depending on the people involved. What once seemed like a one-way street, where actors ascended to the MCU and stayed there, has now been proven to be much more malleable. Talent can and will move to wherever the stories, the opportunities, and the respect for their craft lead them. Renner's history also makes this transition particularly resonant. Having survived a life-threatening accident just over a year ago, his return to the screen carries an emotional weight. Fans see in him a figure of resilience and transformation, and now that narrative is playing out in his career as well. To shift from Marvel to DC after such a profound personal event suggests that Renner is not just chasing roles, He's seeking reinvention. The fact that DC is the platform for that reinvention lends the studio a new kind of symbolic credibility. As details continue to emerge, the industry is left to process what this moment means for superhero cinema as a whole. The line between Marvel and DC has never been less stable, and Jeremy Renner has just stepped directly into that space of uncertainty and opportunity. His presence in DC projects will be watched with intense scrutiny, and comparisons will be inevitable. But if Renner has shown anything in his career, it's that he thrives under pressure and refuses to be boxed into a single identity. DC's acquisition of Renner is more than just a casting coup, it's a declaration. It declares that talent can and will migrate when the creative atmosphere is right. It declares that the next chapter of superhero storytelling may not be written by the studio with the most money or the longest track record, but by the one that dares to make bold, unexpected moves. Jeremy Renner joining DC is that move. It's not just a shock. It's a recalibration of everything fans thought they understood about the Marvel-DC divide. And as the world waits to see what role he'll play, one thing is already certain: the game has changed. Jeremy Renner has made his move, and both Hollywood and Disney are left to absorb the shock. If you liked this video, please give it a like and subscribe to our channel. Also, leave your comments below and tell us, what are your thoughts on Jeremy Renner signing with DC and shocking Disney? We want to hear from you. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.